For centuries, people have been drawn to stories about haunted houses. These spooky tales send chills down our spines and make us afraid of the dark. But what is it about these places that fascinates and frightens us so much? Why do we love to be scared? Haunted houses represent the unknown. They are places where the line between the living and the dead seems to blur. This is a concept that has terrified and intrigued humanity since the dawn of time. Throughout history, cultures all over the world have told stories about ghosts and haunted places. From ancient legends to modern-day ghost hunting shows, haunted houses continue to captivate our imaginations. These stories tap into our deepest fears and make us question what happens after we die. Join me as we explore the history of haunted houses, separating fact from fiction and uncovering the truth behind these spooky tales. The belief in haunted places is deeply rooted in our history. In ancient times, people were closely connected to the spiritual world. They believed that spirits could linger in the physical world, especially in places where tragedy or violence had occurred. Ancient cultures often associated hauntings with restless spirits who had unfinished business or had died tragically. These spirits were believed to be trapped between worlds, unable to move on. One famous example is the story of the Roman Empire. Romans believed that homes could be haunted by the lares, the spirits of the family's ancestors. If the lares were not properly honored, they could become angry and cause misfortune for the living. These early beliefs about spirits and the afterlife laid the foundation for the haunted house stories that would follow. Over the years, there have been countless stories about real-life haunted houses. These places often gain a reputation for being haunted based on personal experiences, local legends, and unexplained phenomena. One such example is the Whaley House in San Diego, California. Built in 1857, the house was the site of several tragedies, including hangings and accidental deaths. Today, visitors and employees report strange noises, cold spots, and even apparitions within the house. These experiences have led many to believe that the spirits of those who died on the property still linger there. While some dismiss these accounts as mere superstition or overactive imaginations, others believe that they offer evidence of the paranormal. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying that haunted houses can be scary, but why do we get scared? What is it about these places that triggers our fear response? Scientists believe that fear is an evolutionary adaptation that helps us survive danger. When we encounter something threatening, our bodies go into fight or flight mode. Our heart rate and breathing increase, our muscles tense up, and our senses become heightened. This physiological response is controlled by the amygdala, a part of the brain responsible for processing emotions, including fear. In the context of a haunted house, our brains interpret the darkness, strange noises, and unexpected surprises as potential threats. This triggers our fear response, even if we know that the threats are not real. Section 5. The power of suggestion. Our minds play tricks. Another reason why haunted houses are so effective at scaring us is the power of suggestion. When we enter a haunted house, we expect to be scared. We've heard the stories, seen the movies, and our imaginations are already primed for a frightening experience. This anticipation can make us more susceptible to suggestion. For example, if we hear a noise in the distance, our minds might immediately jump to the conclusion that it's a ghost, even if it's just the wind or a creaking floorboard. Our brains tend to fill in the blanks with what we expect to see and hear, which can enhance the fear factor. This is why haunted houses often use psychological tricks like eerie music, flashing lights, and creepy decor to create a more immersive and frightening experience. These elements play on our expectations and make us more likely to believe that we're experiencing something truly spooky. Section 6. Haunted houses in popular culture. Haunted houses have long been a staple of popular culture. From classic literature to Hollywood blockbusters, these spooky settings have captivated audiences for generations. One of the earliest and most famous examples is Horace Walpole's 1764 novel, The Castle of Otranto, which is considered the first Gothic novel. The novel features many of the tropes that we associate with haunted houses today, such as secret passages, mysterious apparitions, and a brooding atmosphere of dread. In the 20th century, haunted houses became a popular subject for films, with classics like The Haunting from 1963 and The Exorcist from 1973 terrifying audiences worldwide. These films often explored themes of the supernatural, psychological horror, and the battle between good and evil. Section 7. The thrill of the haunted house experience. Despite the fear factor, many people enjoy the thrill of a good scare. Haunted houses, haunted hayrides, and other Halloween attractions offer a safe and controlled environment to confront our fears and experience an adrenaline rush. There's something exhilarating about being chased by a chainsaw-wielding maniac or coming face-to-face with a terrifying creature. It's a chance to step outside of our comfort zones and experience a different side of ourselves. For some, it's also a way to bond with friends and family over shared screams and laughter. It's a reminder that even in the face of fear, we can still find joy and connection with others. The popularity of haunted attractions speaks to our fascination with the unknown and our desire to test our limits. Section 8. Separating truth from tales, the importance of critical thinking. While haunted houses can be a lot of fun, it's important to approach these stories with a healthy dose of skepticism. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement and believe everything we hear, but it's essential to think critically and consider all possible explanations. Just because a house is old or has a spooky history doesn't necessarily mean it's haunted. Many so-called hauntings can be attributed to natural phenomena, such as drafts, settling noises, or electromagnetic fields. It's also important to remember that personal experiences can be subjective and influenced by factors like fear, suggestion, and cultural beliefs. What one person interprets as a ghostly encounter, another might explain as a figment of their imagination. By approaching haunted house stories with a critical eye, we can appreciate the history, folklore, and psychological aspects of these tales without falling prey to misinformation or unfounded beliefs. Section 9. The enduring allure of haunted houses. Haunted houses continue to fascinate and frighten us centuries after the first ghost stories were told. They tap into our deepest fears, our curiosity about the afterlife, and our desire to believe in something beyond the ordinary. Whether we experience them through spooky tales, haunted attractions, or alleged real-life encounters, haunted houses offer a glimpse into the darker side of our imaginations. They remind us that there are still mysteries in the world that we may never fully understand, and perhaps that's part of what makes them so enduringly fascinating.